What is going on out there in the interwebs? See everybody kind of logging in here. We are trying to use my screen very carefully here because it's broken. And we're getting ready to mail it off, so we can barely see the screen.
Yeah,
but
it looks a little crazy.
It looks a little crazy. It's like kind of rainbowy. All right, so let me let's see here. Do you want to just read off of this today, or do you want me to make it? No, I need to make it where you're in attending to.
Yeah, I just need to get logged in.
All right, guys, what's going on? Letting everybody get kind of logged in here. And while everybody's checking in, if you want to click down at the bottom of your screen and you want to hit chat, that's going to let you be able to type to us. Make sure that you change that to all panelists and attendees, So make sure you go ahead and do that right now. Make sure you go ahead and click that over there, hit the chat button, and then let me know that you can see me and hear me. Jocelyn, if you could type into the screen there. Let me see. Let me go to attendees. Now, am I going to be able to do this? Let's see. Are you logged in yet? All right, cool. All right, if you can change that. Hello. I see a bunch of hellos coming in the chat box. All right. Minimize this. Jocelyn is now logged in. She'll be there soon. Says, looking good. Let's see. Who is it? That is Carrie. Hey, Carrie, how are you doing? Yeah, one half of my screen, I closed like a little small thing into it the other day, and I broke it. Like I can't even click Do Not Disturb. It's hilarious. Oh wait, did I fix it? Let's see if I can get this right.
I think you can drag the window over.
I got it. Okay, I blindly did that. But 1/3 of my screen is basically black, and then like half of it is a rainbow.
So we've had to like move.
So I've got everything kind of shrunk over to the left, and then like the bottom, probably about 3 inches up from the bottom, it's broken too. So we got the box today, and we're just getting ready to send that in, and we got to get that fixed. Marty says, I can see and hear great listening while I'm putting together my pool. Hold on, I have to shrink my screen for the summer for the kids.
Sounds like fun.
I actually was talking to the kids the other day. I'm thinking about putting in an above ground pool like over at our office. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh, maybe not. But because Jocelyn's just hearing about this for the first time. But we thought about doing that.
Well, listen, if you're thinking about getting a pool, you need to do it as soon as possible because they're going to be slammed this summer.
Oh, yeah, because nobody can go anywhere and like everybody's got to stay home. And that's what we've been doing too. We've been looking for stuff for the lake. Because we're like, we're probably not going to travel anywhere. We need to like invest this summer and do home entertainment as much as we can.
So one of the things that you can do in the chat box, it says to all panelists. So if you make it only to all panelists, no one else can see it. So just change it to all panelists and other attendees.
All right. Tell us. I see we're starting to get a few more people logging in here. People, the 12 o'clock call. Everybody's getting settled in for lunch and things like that. So there'll be people popping in and out throughout the thing. Tell us who you are, where you're from, where you're writing in from today, where you're watching from today, and let us know who all is here. Our team is here today. We've got people in the chat hanging out with you guys. If you need anything, if you need a link, if me and Jocelyn talk about something or say something that you want us to repeat or you want more information on, they can help you get that. So there's plenty of people on our team hanging out in the chat. You guys are in the chat as well. I see people. Matt's watching from Lexington. What is up, Matt? Where's Beck at? She over there? We've got Crystal from Florida. What up, Crystal? How you doing? I got Angela from Cincinnati, Team FL in the house. Mike, what is up, my brother? Finally made it to a member call. Hey, Eric and Noel, what is going on? She's 5 feet to my right, he said.
Ellen awesome. From Lexington.
Ellen from Lexington.
Our podcast guest today is also in Lexington, so be sure to
that's right. Yes, Allison Jinks, our podcast today. Has anybody listened to the podcast yet? Have you listened to the podcast today yet? Who's listened to that? Matt, Becca, did you see that Allison was on the podcast? Has Matt and Becca been on the podcast? I don't know if they have they?
No, I don't think so.
That was supposed to happen,
we
Matt.
We have invited them. I think maybe something happened, and we either didn't schedule or,
All right, check that out.
So, Hannah, you can follow up on that.
Hannah, follow up. Drop a link to the podcast in there so we can see. And reach out to Matt and Becca because I think we owe them a podcast listen.
Yeah, we
Chris,
do.
Chris is here. Chris listened this morning. Awesome stuff. And a lot of people from all over the place. People rolling in right now. Orange County, Jill's in the house. Jill got her Yeah, you emailed me back last night about getting that link I was supposed to send you. Got a couple quick announcements, and then we're going to do some fun stuff as people keep rolling in. If you are a beta member of the new Flip Your Life community, we had to resend the link. We had a link issue yesterday. What's up, Mary? I see you there from Monroe, Wisconsin. We had a link issue yesterday in our new system, and we had to change the basically the top level domain for that site. One, I jumped the gun and
I know you can't imagine.
went too
this.
fast and did something that I shouldn't have done about it 2 weeks ago. And Jocelyn was like, "No, that
Well,
won't
then I
work.
logged in and I'm like,
That won't
makes no
work.
sense."
This makes no sense." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." So we had to fix that. So basically, we took down the domain and it messed it up. If you're a Membership Master subscriber, I'm going to send that out today to get you guys into your member area as well. For your special courses and stuff like that. Because
so, Carrie, another thing to be aware of.
yeah, another thing, Carrie, I broke that. There's probably going to be some customer service coming in on that one today. So yeah,
It's not broken forever. We can get you in. Don't
Yeah.
panic.
all right. So make no mistake, we keep our people on their toes. All right. So a couple of cool things. One, so Jocelyn and I are going to be ramping up our swag game. All right, there's going to be a lot more flipped lifestyle swag, flip your life swag. We want to be giving away a lot of cool stuff all the time. So on member calls, we're going to play contests and we're going to play games at the beginning of each member call so we can make sure, one, that we're connecting with you guys all over the interwebs, and two, so we can give you guys some cool stuff, and three, it's a way for us to like debut some stuff too. Okay, so what we are going to do today, we're going to have a little fun game, and some of you may already have these if you've been to the live event, but we're going to be giving away one of these free. No, yeah, this will be free. Flipped lifestyle backpacks, string bags. All right, we've got real backpacks, we've got string backpacks, but imagine yourself walking into the coffee shop with this wonderful flipped lifestyle bag. It is the perfect size for a laptop computer and a notepad. And a book. I take
But
this.
wait, there's more. There's lint on the back of it because this was in my closet.
This
and
was in the
dog hair.
closet. We've got it. We got a giant box of these that we're going to be giving them
Yes.
out.
However, yours will not.
Yours
have
will not
the
have
dog
lint
hair.
or dog hair unless you want it. You might be a pet lover. I don't know. We'll get you a fresh one out of the thing. All right. But we're going to be giving away one of these bags today, and we're going to be mailing that out to you. And what do you do with bags? You put things in bags. So there will be other surprises, flipped lifestyle surprises in this bag if you win this bag. So how do you win the bag today? How do you win the bag today? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to be giving one of these bags to someone who has left us an iTunes review. Left us a review
So
over on iTunes.
either you have in the past.
Yep, you need to
or
tell us if you did.
do it today.
Yeah, we're going to be pulling these from our iTunes review. So Jocelyn is going to drop a link right now in the chat box. All right. So click that link while you're listening right now. And if you have not done so yet, go leave us an iTunes review. All right.
Hopefully
leave us
a good one.
hopefully a good one. You can be honest. We don't care. You know, it's just, it is what it is.
No 1-star troll.
No 1-star trolling. But like if you click that link right now and you get into that, at the all right, Crystal, we'll see you on there. We'll see you on Crystal's left read. We'll put her in the minute. So Carrie, keep up with this.
Carrie, you keep a list of these
Right.
people. Okay.
And I've also got an email. I've also got a list in the chat box. So go leave a review. You got to leave a review right now if you've already left us a 5-star review there. Now, I'll tell you something else you can do. Go type in, find the Spotify link. Find it to Spotify because I want to get some reviews on Spotify too. All right. If you've already left a review for iTunes, we're going to drop the spot. Jocelyn, hold on. She's sending the link now. She's sitting there telling everybody about the panelists and attendees.
Yes, I was like, oh, everybody, I can't see what you type, and then I'm the one who screwed it up.
That's right, exactly.
Sorry.
So there's the link. All right. So click that link. Go to our iTunes. Go to Apple Podcasts. It's not called iTunes anymore. I know they changed it. We still have iTunes installed. I refuse to give it up. All right. So find our Spotify page.
Yeah, it's sort of like how Infusionsoft changed their name to Keep, which I think
makes
is
no
the
sense.
stupidest thing ever.
All
So
right.
I refuse to call
All right.
it.
So just I think you just grabbed that whole link at the top.
That's not it.
That's not it. Search for Flip Lifestyle in there. We're going to get you a Spotify link. Spotify, we're going to focus a lot more on Spotify. We got a lot more listeners coming on to Spotify. And so just, I guess, grab the whole thing. Yep. All right. So Jocelyn's going to drop that in there. Can you even leave reviews in Spotify? I don't know. But you can subscribe on Spotify or try to leave us a review there. But what we're going to do is as soon as you leave your review, put it in the chat box. And we're going to get a list. Chris said done. We got a review. So leave us a review. And at the end of the call, don't let me forget, Carrie. Don't let me forget, Jocelyn. We're going to give away one of these bags to somebody that leaves us a review today. Okay.
Make sure you change it from all panelists to all panelists and attendees. Otherwise, Carrie can't see it, and she's the one making the list.
That's right. Okay. So, all right. So keep that up. I see Crystal in there. I see some other people in there. It's always good. And we've got some good surprises that we're going to pack into that. Okay. All right. So there's that. Now, the next thing that I want to do is who wants to see, like, we haven't done this in a couple member calls. I think 2 member calls ago, we did a little beta for the member call. All right. Can't see to leave a review on the Apple Podcast. It's somewhere in there. If you're on a phone, if you're on an iPhone, if you're on your website, you may have to use your phone and go into the podcast app. You may have to go, and I think you can hit write review
let me see if
on the website.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Here.
Click on the website in a browser, and that'll tell you what to do.
Okay.
All right. She's going to figure that out. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys the new community. I think we're a couple weeks from launching the new community. And we're going to make sure, double done. Chris is on Spotify and iTunes. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you guys a quick tour and show you all the updates on the new community. Who's pumped up about the new Flip Your Life member area that's about to roll out in June? Who's excited about that? We have done some amazing things in here for user experience. We have streamlined the entire process in the community. And I am really, really pumped to see this, or for you guys to see this, because we are getting very close to being done. And I'm going to show you something else really cool as well. So let me share my screen, all right, to show you Flip Your Life 2.0 so you guys can get the sneak peek at what's happening. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm on it first before I do this. Make sure I'm in the right place. That'd be important. All right. So I'm going to share my screen in any second now. All right. Share my screen. There it is. And boom. All right. Share. All right. What do you see on your Zoom? All right. Can you see that chat box, or is that your chat box?
It's mine.
Okay. All right, guys. So I want to show you this real quick. I want comments. I want people excited. I want people clapping their hands because this is amazing. All right. So we've got the new Flip Your Life community member area. We've been working really hard on this with our beta group. I'm going to shrink this down at different times. Like, this is the desktop view. Basically, when you log in, this would be what it would look like on a tablet. And of course, we can go all the way down to the phone. So I want to just start wide. And I start with that. Jocelyn, can I see that on your screen so that I know what I'm looking at here? All right. All right. So when you log in, cool thing's going to be announcements are going to appear right at the top now.
They'll actually be updated.
They'll actually,
we have people
that help us, right? All the updated. So like this will be replaced this week with our June member calls, and it'll tell you, when the next member call is. 99% of the time, this is going to be for member calls and live things, because we're going to be ramping up our service to you in our live Q&As. But there could also be other things here, like if we've got a live event coming up or something like that, a speaking engagement or something. But we're going to keep you guys informed right here on this bar, okay? All right, we've got some really, really quick communication up here. You're going to be able to get to the support anytime. If you can't figure out something, this button will be open for everybody, and you can click that. You can get a hold of anybody on our team to help you with that. You're going to be able to update your profile in such an easier way. It's so much smoother and easier to change your picture and do all of those things. And what we're really excited about now is the navigation for the entire community, because let me show you the search bar. Watch this. Ready? Wait for it. There it is. Our search is dramatically improved. When you actually type something in, it gets you a lot of results and finds it much faster. And it's just much smoother process to find things on the site. So when you scroll down, you can see that we've completely rearranged the Flip Your Life blueprint. We've added new content. We've organized stuff. We've taken out stuff that's outdated. And basically the process from start to finish is completely streamlined into starting, building, and growing your own membership site and online business. So that you can get in here and you can bounce around. None of this is dripped. You don't have to do it in order. If you want to come down to section 4, you can click on section 4 and jump right in. We're still updating a couple of the courses, but everything is so much easier to navigate now. And you're going to be able to come in here. You're going to be able to keep up with your progress. You can mark courses completed when you're done. We actually can see how long you watch a course. we're going to automate some automations in here to kind of like, if you get, you watch half of this course, it'll send you an email that says, hey, don't forget to watch it to help bring you back
and
in.
your kids,
there you go.
your kids interrupt you.
If your kids interrupt you or something like that, or you got to go to work and you only got half the course done on the commute, listening to it, whatever, you can do it back. You can mark complete when you're done with the course. We have additional resources. All the downloads are in one place, and we have threaded comments now on the actual course. So if you take this course, Explore and Find Your Idea, you're going to be able to just ask a question right here, and we will get you an answer as fast as possible.
And fun fact, almost every course has a workbook that's
yes,
printable.
Exactly. So you can print these out. I can show you what that looks like. Hold on, watch this. I think it'll open. I click it. Oh, wait, it's downloading it. So you can download the workbooks and print it. I would open that download, but I can't see the bottom of my screen. I wish you guys could see this. I'll take a picture and post it on social media. It's not completely broken.
Yeah.
All right. So you can download the workbook, and all of that is accessible right here in the Flip Your Life Blueprint area. It's really, really cool, guys. How streamlined this is. What we're really, really excited about is our new forum. So I'm in the process right now of working. Oh, daggone it. Did I break that? Hold on. Wait for it. I think I broke it. Maybe it's because I'm not logged in. Let me see here. Let me go through the forum.
Maybe the screen is.
Maybe the screen is. Oh yeah, I know what it is. So right now, the company that I'm working with, yeah, that's what it is. It's the domain. Because what we've got to do is, I need to change it. Actually, I think I can. Wait.
Yeah, we broke something.
No,
so.
they're setting up single sign-on, is what it is.
Yeah.
And I got to change this. Watch this. I'm going to fix this. I bet. Watch this. You ready? Let's see if I fix this. Let's see if this works. It should work.
Okay.
Did I type Flip Lifestyle correctly right there?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. But
won't it be .kajabi.com?
Maybe. Oh, that was wrong. Yes, you're right. Okay, hold on. So what you say, Kajabi? Hold on, let me go back. We're going to fix this. Watch the troubleshooting that's going to happen. You think you're the only person that breaks something? What did you say it should be? fliplifestyle.mykajabi.com. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, somebody says this is their first time on a member call. I would say sorry, but it's pretty much always like this.
Okay.
Okay, well,
now we're going. Back to safety or keep going?
Nah,
How to
down at
proceed? Proceed. Dang it. Okay. All right. Well, I would love to do that. Hold on. I wonder if I can show them in website toolbox.
I don't know. I promise it will work.
It will work when we get done. So what they're doing right now is they're setting up a thing called single sign-on, and but I think I can show you what it looks like. Oh no. Okay, hold on.
It still says Membership Masters.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see. Integrate. I can show you what it looks like, right? Yeah, I can show you here. All right. So watch this. Nope, that's not right. Hold on. Wait for it. You're going to see this. I promise.
Been doing this 8 years, people.
That's right.
8 years.
That's right. We have customize your theme. Let's see. It's this one. I know it's this one. Customize. All right. So here we go. This is what it will look like. I promise. But they're setting up single sign-on so you can sign in to Kajabi, and you don't have to sign on anywhere else. You can only sign in one place. All right. So what's going to happen is when you get into the forums, it's now going to be these colored tiles. And they work really, really well on phones and things like that. So you're going to be able to log in. You're going to be able to touch any color of the style, and you're going to be able to go in. There's going to be 4 forums now. We've completely streamlined it down to 4 forums. It's going to say news and bonuses, where we keep you updated on announcements, podcasts. You're going to be able to get early podcasts in here. Every time Hannah gets one edited and done, even before it comes out, we're going to go ahead and post it in the community. So you're going to get early access to all of the podcasts going forward. You're going to get member calls in here. There's going to be a general forum where you can answer questions and ask questions and help each other, success stories, and action plans. So we've completely streamlined it down to these 4 forums. There will not be anything else in this forum area.
There's even a chat. And
yes, there's a live chat, which you can see down here in the corner.
One of my long-term plans is to have someone in here 24 hours a day to help you guys with questions. We don't have that quite yet. But if someone is in there, you can chat with them.
That's right. All right. So you're going to be able to click into the forums. We're hooking it up right now. There is a new Facebook group. If you're not a member of that group, Carrie or Angela, if you guys could drop the link to the Flip Your Life Community Facebook group, We're going to have a special Facebook group. We're going to use this for announcements and things like that. So there will be a lot of stuff happening here, and everybody's got Facebook on their phone, and we just want to be able to make sure we're connected with you guys there. So please, if you've not joined that group, we'll drop that link in. You can join that group today as well. And we just got a lot of other easy-to-use resources here that you're going to be able to go through. We're going to start bringing you more tools and resources. We're going to start vetting some experts for things that we don't teach, like podcasting and stuff like that, so you guys know that you're getting good quality resources. And if I can make it happen, I really want to show them what happens when, that's not what I want to do, when it goes onto like a phone. You know what I'm saying? Guys, my computer is so broken. If you could see this right now, you would be laughing hysterically. What have I done, Justin?
I don't know.
Can you see it? All right, hold on.
What am I supposed to be seeing?
Well, I'm supposed to, like, I don't want this to be okay, there we go. And then I want to pull this over here. And then I want to make it smaller. There we go. All right, so let me show you what this is going to look like on a phone, like when you log in. So basically, when you log in, we have everything fixed perfectly for a phone. So you can come in if you want to take a courses. Maybe you're sitting there at the doctor's office waiting for an appointment, or in your car because no one's allowed to go in the doctor anymore. You can actually come in here and just take all the courses right on your phone. Everything's going to pop up, play. You're going to be able to come down and comment just the exact same way. Your downloads will populate at the bottom. Or it looks great on an iPad too. It'll look like something like this on an iPad. So it's going to be a really, really, really cool platform. Now the question is, how do I turn off my screen share? If we can make that happen, we're in business. Hold on, wait for it. There we go. Did I do it? Yes. All right, so that was a bit of a disaster, but you can see how awesome it is. So who thinks the new Flip Your Life community looks amazing?
And it will not be a disaster.
It will not be a disaster. The forums, the forum is embedded, and we're hooking it up right now for that single sign-on, so it's not showing and it's not populating. But you guys are going to get access to that. We're going to get you put in there. We're figuring out how it's going to work. We definitely want to eventually transfer over to this new system entirely, but we are going to run the old platform parallel. We're going to run the old platform parallel for a while.
Just to make sure we don't completely
break anything, make sure everything's okay. So we're going to, and we're growing, guys. We've added full-time team, full-time staff. We're going to be putting more support people into the Flip Your Life community, into the forums, into what we're doing inside there to make sure that you guys get answers fast and that you can move fast and you can get out there fast, right? And like you don't have to wait anymore. We've been trying to really streamline the Flip Your Life Blueprints processes so that we can help you guys succeed faster. And we want to give you the best chance to, do what we did, which is, start an online business, quit your job, take control of your family's life, or maybe not even quit your job. Maybe you just find something that can give your family a better future. We want to make sure that you have that, and we want to make sure that we're serving you in the best possible way with the best possible technology. So we're doing everything we can to improve the Flip Your Life community experience. We're adding courses. I've added. I think we've got like 8 courses or something that I got to go back and re-record over the next week or two before we launch. And it's going to be a really, really exciting time. June is going to be amazing. A lot of big things are happening in June. The new Flip Your Life community is opening. We're going to put you in there. Are you taking a picture of my screen?
No.
Is that what you're doing? All right. What are you doing? What's going on?
We were talking about my coordinated microphone, computer, headphones, and then I said my phone. I said it wasn't out here, but actually
it's pink too.
Part of it is.
Jocelyn's got it all under control. Okay.
Hot pink is my favorite, and I'm absolutely dying because I have my nails done almost always, and
she
I
does
have
not right now.
Had them done.
Salon's open next week. I can get a haircut again. It's going to be amazing. All right.
They will be hot pink for the next member call.
Exactly. So we're going to get the new Flip Your Life community, but also something else that we're really excited about is mid-June, I'm launching a new podcast. It's going to be called Membership Masters. And it's going to be completely different than the Flip Lifestyle podcast. It's going to be next level membership stuff. And you all are going to be able to learn for it. We're going to dive deep into growing audience and getting traffic. We're going to dive deep into getting and keeping more members. I know that's a couple of the biggest things that people ask us all the time is, how do I get my audience bigger? How do I get traffic to my sales page? How do I get people to come and join the membership? And the Membership Masters podcast is going to be launching in June. It's going to be some of the episodes are going to be just me teaching high level marketing for memberships. And when I say high level, I don't want to exclude people. I mean, like, it's going to teach you how to market memberships. Memberships are completely different than any other thing out there when it comes to online business and marketing. They're playing Fortnite. That's why they're yelling.
Someone's screaming in my house. I was trying to figure out what's going on.
Quit yelling. She's screaming that they're playing
I was
video
just making
games.
sure nobody was like killing
Anybody right there.
person.
But Membership Master is going to be cool. I'm actually interviewing experts and guests, and I got tons of people coming on. I've already recorded a bunch of the interviews. The biggest people in the membership game, we're really looking at people who are masters at subscriptions. I've got people like John Lee Dumas, Stu McLaren, James Schramko, Mike Morrison from the Membership Guys. We're just reaching out to all of our friends who we know are great at subscriptions. And we've even got success stories and people from the Flip Your Life community, but they're not like the normal coaching style of the Flip Lifestyle podcast. We brought people coming on to the show, like Rebecca Decker, a buddy of mine named Joe Nicoletti, Jeff Twitty, people with 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 members in their membership, people that came up through the Flip Your Life community, started at zero, and now they've got $1 million memberships of their own. And this is just going to really be a next level thing that's going to help everybody crush it. And the format is long form. It's very Joe Rogan style. It's just me and my guest, and we're just hanging out. Most of them started out with, we just recorded from the beginning of the call, didn't even start or like break or like count anything in or whatever. And we just went straight into the conversation, and, we just geeked out about membership marketing and online business and freedom and Flip Lifestyle. And and we talked for like 2 and 3 hours. Some of them are like, 2.5 hours long. Jocelyn said, I'm not doing this one with you. I'm not sitting there for 2 hours. I'm like, I'm geeking out for 2 hours. And Paul, Joe, Stu and I do talk about that in our talk. It was a really great conversation. And we bantered back and forth about open, closed. And, my philosophy on that. And Stu's got his own philosophy. Some of the interviews are pretty good. We get into it. Like, this isn't like your, hey, how you doing, man? What's your next book coming out? Blah, 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 blah. This is like conversations in a mastermind setting between two high-level mastermind owners about how to make it work. And you're going to learn so much from it. So that's coming out next week as well. Okay. All right. I already see one question in the Q&A box. Let's get this Q&A started in the next couple of minutes. Let me make Jocelyn.
Yeah, we've somehow managed to talk for 26 minutes.
That's okay. We're here to hang out. We're here to have fun. That's what we do on this call. All right. Let's see. I need to make you promote to panelist. You now can see it. All right. So if you've got a question about memberships or online business, you need to ask it in the Q&A right now. At the bottom of your screen, click the Q&A box. You're going to be able to ask a question. Jocelyn's going to be getting those up. When I see 3 questions, I'm going to start the Q&A. So go ahead and ask your questions. Where are you struggling right now? Where are you stuck right now? Where do you need our help to make your membership dream a reality? Click that Q&A box. And we also want to hear your wins from last week. What wins do you have in your membership? What wins do you have in your online business? Did you send an email? Did you get a sale? What did you do? Put your success stories in the Q&A box as well. Also, don't forget, while you're waiting, Jocelyn, drop that link in one more time. You can go leave us a review on iTunes today. At the end of today's call, we're going to be giving away a Flip Lifestyle string backpack with some special goodies and prizes inside. We're going to be mailing that out. And if you leave us a review today, make sure you tell us and put, I left a review today on iTunes or on Spotify. iTunes or on Spotify. Leave a review. And please put your questions and success stories over in the Q&A box if you can. And we will get to those as well. Here's how Q&As work. I
just want to say that it took me 27 minutes to realize that I didn't need to be wearing headphones.
That's right.
27 minutes.
Oh, I don't either. Why am I wearing headphones? I don't need to be wearing headphones either. We're sitting right beside each other. We were on a team meeting a minute ago, so that's probably why we did that. All right. We got 3 questions, so we're getting ready to start the Q&A. So please post your success stories. You can say it in the chat too, and we want to celebrate that. But we're going to call you out on the success. We
just want to make sure we don't miss it.
Yeah, we don't want to miss it. So put it in the Q&A box. I saw one come through. I think it was John or Josh. Yeah, it was Josh. Put your success story in the Q&A box as well. Just put success at the beginning so that we know how to we can get that. And we're going to jump into our first question on today's Q&A from Paul.
Okay, I don't have that one, so I'm going to look at yours.
Here, watch us. I have to do this. Now you can see it.
Okay. All right, this question is from Paul. He says, are you concerned about splitting the community between Facebook and the new Flip Lifestyle community site? I have a Facebook group, but I want to move everything over to Kajabi so that it's all in one place.
That is a great question. Okay. So strategically, you have to understand why we're going to have a Facebook group. We personally are not going to build community in the Facebook group. We build community in our forums and right here on member calls, right? That's how we build community in the Flip Your Life community. The Facebook group is going to serve two purposes. So I'm going to tell you the long-term strategic reason and the short-term strategic reason why we've decided to add a Facebook site or a Facebook group as a tool to enhance our membership. All right. Number one, everybody has Facebook. They just do. We complain about it. We gripe about it, but you have one. 99% of you have a Facebook account. And we want to make sure that we're using tools that other people are using to reach out to our audience. So we decided to use a Facebook group to make sure we have a good place to make announcements, to talk to our people, to generate discussions. But the goal of the Facebook group will be to get people from the Facebook group back to the community. So I'll give you some examples. We're going to announce member calls in the community and in the Facebook group. You're going to know when the member call is because it's also going to be in Facebook, right? So you're going to get a notification. You're going to see it come through your news feed, and that's going to happen. But it's going to point back to the community. You're going to know when we have a podcast come out because it's going to be early released in the community. But also we're going to share it in the Flip Your Life community group. We're going to highlight discussions that are happening in the Flip Your Life community forums we're going to highlight those in the Facebook group, but we're not going to say comment here. We're going to give a link and say go back to that community. If I release a new course or we highlight a course, everything in the Facebook group is designed to make announcements of what's happening in the community. So members like you, Paul, will have a better chance to know what's going on. We're going to get you on email. We're going to get you on social media, and we're all going to be in a place where we can kind of hang out, okay? Now, there's a second reason. There's a long-term reason for it. When people join the Flip Your Life community, they pay for access to our team, to us, to our content, to our forums. That's what you're paying for, right? You're paying to get the support you need and the community you need so you don't have to do this alone. If you stop paying, you can't get access to all that content. You can't get access to member calls. You can't get access to our community forums and things like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to leave people in the Facebook group, one, so that they can stay connected to us, even if they're not in the main community. But two, we're going to create a lot of FOMO and try to get those people back. We get people coming back all the time. People might leave for a while, then they come back because they realize.
And there's probably a lot of people in here
who have done that before.
Left for a while and come back.
Exactly. So we wanted to create a quicker turnaround in that. We wanted to create a way where we were still connected with people, where they could still feel like they were a part of the community, and they could remember what they're missing. Right? When we say, "Hey, there's a member call," we sent you an email to register for the member call. You're going to see that and go, "Oh, FOMO. Fear of missing out. Man, I wish I could be on that member call again." Hey, we got an awesome discussion going on about Facebook ads in the community. Paul asked a really good question. There's like 10 responses. Let's all jump in and talk about it. That'll be our weekly featured thread, right? Oh man, I wish I could join that weekly featured thread, So it's going to be a lot of announcements, a lot of what's happening, a lot of news, a lot of things like that. There's a lot of content. We will have community-like things, right? Like we might have a Wednesday, like on Wednesday you share your biggest win.
So we might have theme days. We might have some type of engagement post because, Facebook likes engagement. So the one thing that we will not be doing, and I think this partially answers your question, is it's not going to be a free-for-all, everybody post everything.
No. You're not. It'll only be our admin can post, and then the comments will either be on or off. Yeah.
But you cannot just get on there and ask a question. That's not going to be happening. It's going to be basically us kind of promoting sort of the role of what a Facebook page is supposed to be, but like Facebook pages somehow
it's like a Facebook page for our people, actually members, right? So basically it is the Flip Your Life community and alumni, people who have been in the community, and we're going to build this big audience there over time, right? We've got like 3,000 people we need to get in it. We're still getting the word out that it's even there. But it'll be a bridge between your life and the community, or a lifeline to come back to the community. We will not be putting courses there. We will not be putting content there like that. Nothing like that's going to be in the group. It's just going to be
We will
another.
not encourage discussion there. You know, if it happens, we're probably not going to stop it necessarily. Like if it happens in the comments,
But it might be like a discussion about the podcast.
but we're going
or
to
something.
encourage people to have their discussions
Yeah.
on the site.
You can do anything with your membership, Paul, if you're strategic about it, right? You got to think, you got to have a plan, right? You got to have a plan. And like everything, every move, every action we take has to be related to that plan. So when we said, we didn't, most people say, well, should I do a Facebook group or should I do a forum? And we're like, well, wait a minute. They're both valuable. Can we do both? And we figured out a way to use both. And we think it's going to really not only enhance the community experience, but it's going to help us to keep the members more updated on what's going on.
Well, and I think in that line too, that it's important to note that we also have the capacity to be able to do that now, because I think at one time it would have been difficult for us to run both the group and the community on our website. But now that we have a full-time staff, we can do those things a little bit more easily.
Yep. All right. Great question, Paul. Awesome stuff. Remember, if you need a question answered today, please put it in the Q&A box right now. And if you have a success story, we want to hear about that too. Let's hear about your latest win. So, Jocelyn, I think we do have a success story here from Josh Regath.
Okay, Josh.
Josh Regath.
Josh says, I got 3 members on my beta launch.
Boom! If you can
Yes.
find 3, you can find 303 or 3003, my friend. Once you get the beta members, it is all downhill, man. Make sure you're getting
It's
those people
amazing.
on the phone. Talk to them, learn about them. Who are they? They said yes. And if they're out there, there are probably a lot more that will say yes to you. Good job, dude. Way to
Yep,
launch,
you
man.
took action. Awesome.
Made it happen.
All right. This question is from Kathy. Kathy says,
This is kind of a success story, too. Are you seeing this?
I'm trying, but
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I
You
read
got me
ahead. I read
distracted.
ahead and I got excited.
okay. Kathy says, do you have any advice for someone who is quitting her job next month?
Virtual high
Wow.
fives.
Wow, Kathy.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
I'm kind of freaking out in a good way because this is so crazy. I've been teaching for 13 years and going full time into online business. Do you have any advice to think about when I'm in the last 3 weeks of school before saying goodbye to teaching?
Well, first of all, I'm going to get really emotional here because
We have been
this has been a
following
long
this journey
time
for
coming.
a very long time.
Kathy, well, tell me in the chat, when did you start the Flip Your Life journey? Like, when did you start doing this? Like, working on this? What year was it?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that we have talked about this in the past. Okay, she says 2016. I believe we've talked about you maybe leaving in the past, and you're like, no, I'm
One
not
more year.
gonna do that.
So 2016, Kathy has been grinding, and this is 2020 when we are recording this. And man, what a journey! What an absolute journey! And I don't even know if I can talk.
Yeah, it's awesome. And Kathy, she was our member of the year this past year at our live event, because she has just been just relentless, and she has never stopped this entire time. And she's one of those kinds of people where we have just said over and over, like, you have what it takes, you just have to keep going.
Keep going.
And
going.
she did that. She trusted us when really it was probably a little questionable. She was like, I don't know if these people know what they're doing.
I don't think this is gonna work, but like, oh gosh, like I think Kathy, whenever I think of you, we have on our YouTube channel. If you go to flippedlifestyle.com/YouTube, we have a video there of people in the community at all different stages in their journey, and I always think about you, like, even when I'm having a bad day, because you say in that testimonial commercial, you say, what you love about the community and how they're there for you, and how that we're all here working on this together, and then you say that the community is there for people who want this so badly. And like the way you say "so badly" always inspires me, because I always feel it every time I watch a video. See if you can find that video real quick. I go to flippedlifestyle.com. Yeah, Carrie or Hannah, go to flippedlifestyle.com/YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel and see if you can put a link to that video.
If you look up Flip Lifestyle reviews on YouTube, I think you'll find it.
Yeah, right. Or just look up Flip Lifestyle. It's the first video in our playlist. But if
Or
we can,
like Flip Lifestyle
yeah,
testimonial.
somebody can find a link to that on our team. FlipLifestyle.com.
It's a really good video. Like we have so many people.
We actually played it at Flip Your Life Live. But like whenever you say that, you say so badly, and the look on your face, like I just feel it. And to see that you're getting what you wanted so badly, like right now, really like blows my mind. Like it just like it overwhelms me. And
this is why
we're
we
here.
do what we do.
Yeah,
this is why.
So anyway, all right. So any advice to think about while you're quitting your job and saying goodbye to teaching? You know, it's funny. I think back to when me and Jocelyn quit our jobs. I will never forget it. We strategically planned it around a professional development day so we wouldn't have to go sit in meetings. So like we planned.
So the PD day was on a Friday and we're like, let's quit on Thursday.
Let's quit on Thursday.
No need to go to that meeting.
No need to go to that meeting for 8 hours, right?
So we did.
And, you know, that week we just kind of went, you know, about our business, our normal business. And, you know, and I will say this. A lot of those people in your life now probably won't be in your life for a while, in a little while. So you might want to say bye. Like literally when you say bye to them, they won't get it, but like you're really probably saying bye to a lot of those people. You know, I think, gosh, I mean, even my coaching staff that I spent every minute of every day with, you know, I've seen
them occasionally.
Yeah, I text them occasionally, but I haven't been up there in a couple of years, you know?
No, and like, you know, you'll say that you'll visit, but I visited one time, I think.
Like when your life changes, it changes. You know, when you turn the page on this, it's not like turning to a new chapter. Like you're finishing a book and you're starting a new book, right? That's how big of a deal this is. So kind of go into it with that kind of awe and that respect and like not sadness, like what a great chapter that you just are closing and what a great book that you're finishing. And now you're opening a book that you didn't even know you were going to have the chance to read a couple years ago, you know?
And I would just say, expect people to not understand. They won't. You know, people, they looked at us like we were crazy, you know. And I know over there, Kathy lives in California, so things are a little bit different over there. But here in Kentucky, I mean, teaching is a really good job.
Yeah.
And people just did not understand why we were leaving. They didn't understand. They just could not comprehend it.
Yeah.
And so just expect that, you know, and don't feel like you have to defend yourself
or defend it.
Yeah. You know, just move forward and say, hey, you know, it's been a great 13 years, but I'm moving on to do something else.
Something greater and bigger and amazing.
Yeah,
and
it's been amazing. And, you know, I have no regrets, but I'm really excited about the future.
And also the day after you quit, don't work.
Do something fun.
Do something fun. We got up and we drank tea and coffee. Jocelyn took a blanket outside and laid down in the grass and read a book. I think I played Xbox all day. Like, I mean, just like really embrace that one day, especially like I get to do whatever I want with every minute I'm awake for the rest of my life. And all I've got to do is stay the course, hold the rudder and keep working on this and keep growing and keep stacking. And it's a roller coaster. There's going to be, have you ever seen that meme where it's like one day it's like, I'm the greatest business person in the world. I'm going out of business tomorrow. That's awesome.
That's pretty much us every day.
Like that's pretty much the rest of your life now is that like constant ride on that roller coaster.
I'm a genius. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Exactly right. You're gonna.
Like
that's exactly what you're gonna feel like all the time from now on, and you know, so kind of embrace that. But I would say this: like the day after you quit your job, one day, just
it's just party day.
I get to do whatever I want, and I have total freedom. It's not about the money. It's not about the opportunity. It's not about the future. It's about freedom. It's about I get to choose what happens in my life, and you do get to do that now, and you've earned it. You have earned it. You have put in the time. You have made the investment. You have earned it. And so that one day, just crush it and enjoy it.
And one thing I will say, I know that I think you're kind of an introvert as well, like I am. But one thing that I will say is that it's important to be involved in some type of group. I mean, our community is amazing, but I think that you need an even smaller, like, core group, and you can probably find that.
And she's got a couple of those on Voxer right now that they talk to all the time, I know.
Yeah, and so you need to just really cling to those people. It may even be a matter of getting something together in person. That's something that I've sort of spearheaded with my group of friends. I had this idea years ago to get some friends together, some entrepreneurial women. And I asked a few people. It fell through a couple of years. Like I tried to do it for several years, and nobody would really get on board. And I went to a live event back a few years ago, and I met Kate All, who does Simple Pen Media. It's a Pinterest agency, and we kind of hit it off. And I was like, "Look." She's actually the one who brought it up to me. She's like, "Wouldn't it be cool if?" And I'm like, "Yes, it would. I've been trying to organize this for years." So, I just took the lead on that, and I said, "Okay, let's make it happen." And so I made it happen. So I would say definitely get a core group of 4 or 5 people that you can count on. These people, they know everything, things they probably don't even want to know about me. But we share things about our family, we share things about our marriages, we share things about our business, our finances, everything. And that makes all the difference. I think is just somebody who actually gets it.
And also, I would highly recommend going back into the Flip Your Life community and watching the Goals and Dreams course right now as you quit. Maybe it's the day that you take off. Or maybe the day after that. And I would reestablish big, huge goals.
And this is going to be hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, when you do that, like you're going to have, this is probably the moment you've been working for, but you can't imagine what else is possible. And you got to sit and try. Like we can't even sometimes figure out, like we look at each other sometimes and when we'll do something and we'll be like, well, if that's possible, could this be possible? Like we're talking like crazy things. Like you can't even, like you weren't conditioned or programmed to think this big growing up.
And that'll always be a struggle. It is for me. Like growing up, my life was just so much different than this.
Yeah.
And, it's really hard for me to wrap my head around that sometimes and say, I really could move to the Caribbean if I wanted to, or, whatever it is.
I really could reach 100,000 people through my podcast and my community. Like we say, like it baffles us that we could even say that out loud, that could be possible. Like when we try to calculate our reach, like just in the article that was written to us about in Forbes like 5 years ago, that thing's almost like at 1 million views. Like 1 million individual people have heard our story through that one article. Like to think things like that, and like don't think small is what I'm saying. Like it's not enough to put it in cruise control now. Like you can really accomplish big things and have everything you want to.
But you're going to need to be surrounded by those world changers, though, because when you share this stuff with other people, they're going to be like, that's crazy. You'll never be able to do that. And you don't need those type of people. You need people who are really supportive and really get it.
That's right. So, and you've got those people. I know that you've got a Voxer group and you talk to people in the Flip Your Life community all the time. And, just take those relationships deeper, enjoy it. Never take it for granted, because not everyone gets to do this. The people that earn it get to do it. And you have earned it, my friend. So we love you. We're here for you. We'll help you. We'll help you take the next step, just like we helped you take the first step. And man, everybody give a standing ovation. We got a job quit. I think we had another one too, and which is a pretty cool one. I saw Brooke talking about something.
Yeah.
Brooke, I'm going to come back to you, okay? But I want to hear yours too, because yours is a different kind of success story, I think. But put that in the.
Okay.
All right, let's go to let's go on and back and get our next question.
All right, this question is from an anonymous attendee. Very mysterious. It says, how do you do this call without feedback? Is Jocelyn's microphone plugged into Shane's computer too? How is your current setup?
Okay, I'm going to try to not unplug anything.
Yeah,
I'm going to show you.
You can't hear us anymore, you'll know what happened.
All right, it's pretty easy.
We picked up this little box. From Guitar Center, I think.
Yep, I went to Guitar Center. You can get it off Amazon for like $200. It is a Focusrite. It is a Scarlett Focusrite 2i4. And if you see right here, it has 2 inputs where I can control the volume and the gain. The gain is why you can't hear my kids screaming in the wind right now. I can take out background noise with a knob, basically. It has a USB interface.
And it also allows my voice to be turned up a little bit louder than Shane's.
Yep.
So that hopefully we're
about
roughly
the same
volume.
Even. And then you just plug an XLR microphone into that, and then that hooks into your USB, and then you pick the microphone. So that's how we do it, and that's how we can use 2 microphones on one call as well. and it's pretty easy to do. And
Well, and I think it has to do with the types of microphones that we use too. So we use the ones that you have to be really close to
Yep.
get the sound to come out.
dynamic microphones.
Yeah, and so what's the other one called?
I think it's dynamic. Paul, isn't that called dynamic? What are the two microphones?
Well, Paul can tell us.
A condenser and a
Yeah.
dynamic or whatever.
So because of the types of microphones that we use, that's why you can't hear us on each other's, because I mean, I literally like have to touch my mouth to the microphone.
Exactly. So, so we love these kind of microphones better. We just get better sound quality out of them. It's hilarious. We'll talk to people, and like I remember Michael Stelzner. I was going on his podcast, and he said, "Dude, you sound amazing, man. What kind of microphone is that? I'm using the Heil $800 special gold edition, whatever." And I'm like, "Bro, $50, Amazon,
Amazon special.
Audio Technica. We just know how to hook it up, right, bro? You know what I'm saying?" So like these microphones work really good, and you can set up. This is probably about $400 in gear. This Focusrite's about $189. These microphones, I think they're $60 now, the new one.
Yeah, there's like a new one that's come out.
right.
It's a little bit more expensive. One of the things that I recommended someone do recently is there are people on YouTube. I know Pat Flynn has done one of these videos where they basically will talk into different types of microphones on the same video, and that way you can compare the different types and the amount of background noise they pick up and all that kind of stuff. There are people who do like some really cool stuff. They turn on radios in the background.
But our philosophy is like what you're hearing now is really, really good. And to the untrained ear, you're not going to be able to hear the difference between certain microphones. And also, Jocelyn and I don't use a formal podcast studio. We got 2 mics, 2 long wires, and this red thing we carry around with us.
Now we do have the what are they called, the shock?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we do have
horses.
some of those, and they actually sound better. You'll notice in our podcast, it drives me crazy when I listen back because I'll hear the microphone moving around. I'm like, oh,
yeah. So if we want,
because we hold it a lot.
So if we want it to be really good quality, we'll use the boom and our hand won't touch it. But for stuff like this, it works perfect.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. Let me see. All right, this is a success story from Brooke. Brooke says, I announced my new pharmacology component of my membership, and I got 7 new members in 48 hours.
Good job, Brooke. That is absolutely amazing. And I think I saw Brooke too. She said something in here that's very interesting.
Love it.
Brooke, I think I saw. Let me see this. All right. Brooke said, I am handing in my resignation this week.
Yay.
So I can go all in on my business. And that is amazing. Amazing. Brooke can tell you more about her story if she wants to in the chat, but I know that that's a decision she has wrestled with for a long time. And sometimes you look at your membership when it's in that early stage, that 50 to 100 members, and you say, man, if I could do this part-time, what could I accomplish full-time? And it takes a huge amount of courage to make that call. And Brooke, I know you're an exceptional person, and I know you're going to dominate this, and I know it's going to work out in your favor.
Yep.
So we're really proud of you for doing that.
We're going to be talking to her on a success story podcast very soon, I think.
Very soon.
All right. This question is from Austin. Austin says, I have an entrepreneur podcast that gets about 30,000 downloads per episode.
Good job.
I've had trouble converting listeners to members. I only have about 50 so far. Should I focus on just finding members in a different way other than through my podcast? What would you do?
Austin, what is your podcast? Tell me in the chat so I can go look at it. But I'm guessing that you're being a little too general in your membership. But I would have to go look at what you're doing in your membership site. For example, I'll give you John Lee Dumas and Kate Erickson have Entrepreneur on Fire. Okay. Entrepreneurs. I'm sorry. Oh, Entrepreneur Stories. Okay. All right. So Entrepreneurs on Fire. All right. EO Fire. But John Lee Dumas, one of his main income stream is teaching podcasting. Like Podcaster's Paradise is a huge revenue stream for him.
It's not a business.
Yeah. A podcast talking about a lot of general entrepreneurship and then teaching general entrepreneurship. Or, you're going to have to figure out the hook, right? Like me and Jocelyn have a pretty good hook. Like one, we've got a story about a real family that figured out how to make their entire living online. And now we teach other people how to do that. But how do we do that specifically? We teach you how to start an online business based around memberships. We help you get 100 people to pay you $50 a month to make $60,000 a year, or 200 will make it 120. Or if you want to get 200 paying you 25, it doesn't matter. That's what we teach, right? So the pitch is so tight and it's so easy and it's so boiled down. You know exactly why you should learn from me and Jocelyn on how to start a membership site, period. Right? We've done it. We've taught thousands how to do it. We can teach you too. So like, it's not just, and even our podcast is kind of dialed in like that because we're helping people on the show, right? Do that thing. So the Entrepreneur Podcast, I'm guessing, can click that link in the chat and let me see what it looks like in iTunes. I want to see his guests and stuff. I'm guessing it's more general entrepreneurs doing good things, doing cool things. Like how this PR firm will put you our first group call, the horror story, finding co-packer for your product. All right. So I've seen a lot of different things here using data-driven marketing, right? So you've got a general audience, but you gotta, it's like panning for gold. Your audience is the river and you've stuck your pan in, you got to stick your pan in the river and you got to sift the soil and the dirt down to find the gold. You got to figure out what you're looking for. Are you looking for gold? Are you looking for silver? Like, what are you teaching in your membership, right?
And Austin, I suspect that you might not be what am I trying to say? Intentional enough. I wonder if you are mentioning your community often in your podcast. I wonder if you are asking people to get on your email list. Just because someone listens to your podcast, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're following you elsewhere. So do they remember that you're around through the week? Do they follow you on social media? Do you have downloads for them to get? Is there an incentive for them to get on your Facebook page or to sign up for anything else, another way that you can contact them? I would suspect that that's part of the problem also. Don't expect that someone's going to listen to your podcast and take action, because like, I know that for me as a podcast listener, I listen in the car a lot of times, so I'm not going to be like, oh, let me look up Austin's community,
unless I'm being bribed to do so, right?
But if you say, hey, I have a free download about ABC that we talked about on this show today, I might be like, oh, Siri, remind me to go on Austin's website and download the ABC.
So, and like, here's what everybody needs to do too in your journey. Okay. So like, everyone needs to write this down and you need to know this path, the discovery to purchase path. How do you get people to find you and then get all the way to the point where they give you money every month, right? Like that you have to know that path. Your path is similar, Austin. One, that's amazing if you're getting that many downloads per episode. Well done. That's killer, dude. You've got a lot of attention, right? That's what a podcast gets you. It gets you attention. But then you have to figure out strategically, how do I take that attention and turn it into an audience? Loyal subscribers, people who are, let me go through this whole thing. The people who are like an audience, people who are subscribers, people who are, like Jocelyn said, following you on social media, following me on everything else, right? Then you have to figure out how to get your audience, right, to move over to that subscriber. I'm a subscriber. I'm on his email list. I'm paying attention to Austin every day. Then how do you turn your subscribers into members, right? And then how do you turn your members into a community? The community is what you got to get to. That's people that will pay you forever. So you've probably got, I've got a podcast, I've got a membership, whoa! But then you never went in between. You never said attention to audience, audience to subscriber, subscriber, cross the line, pay me money, member, pay me every month. That's a community. A community pays you every month.
So you put a little bit of follow-up information on here that I also want to comment on. You said that I don't really have a real niche, so that could be part of my problem. And I agree with that. And let me just tell you that there is a way to figure this out, okay? So look at your data. If you have Google Analytics on your site, what page are people landing on most? What podcast is being downloaded most? What kind of themes are you starting to see in your podcast? Can you do a survey of your podcast listeners and say, hey guys, I'm wanting to know what kind of content you'd like to see from me in the future. Can you go and answer this short 3-question survey and let me know what you want me to talk about? That is a great way to find out who is listening and what they want to hear about. And from there, you can sort of like hone in on that a little bit more.
So you have to niche down, guys. You absolutely have to niche down. You gotta know why people would, like, why do you want to join the Flip Your Life community? I mean, the results you want is probably the same path we walked, right? You want to take control of your life, change your family's future, and do all those things, right? but you still have to know the path. Like I had to create the path for you to get there. And if you don't know that, then you're not going to be able to get anybody to join that.
Well, in
right?
a perfect world, there's multiple paths. You don't want to tell somebody one time on a podcast and then never mention it again. You have to constantly remind people of things.
How many members do you have? He had members.
30, I think.
Yeah, I tell you what I would do, Austin. Those people like you for some reason, and they think you know something specific.
Yeah,
so
so
you need to get them on phone calls,
the
one-on-one
paying
calls.
customers, yes, I would definitely get with them and be like, hey, what do you want to see more of? That'll help a lot.
All right, great question.
All right. This is a success story. This is from Paul. Paul says, on a recent call, I said I realized I could sell like crazy and use that money for a new computer. So, because of the Membership Masters relaunch promotion this month, I've made $3,059
What?
in new revenue. 16-inch MacBook Pro, here I come. That is in addition to my normal members who are paying about that each month. So, all of this can go to a high-end computer.
Did that just say, because of Membership Masters this month, I made $3,059 new dollars? That is, bro, my mind. Paul, you are killing it. You were just on the podcast 2 weeks ago with 100 members, man. You had 20 members back in September. Dude, you are absolutely slaying it. That is unbelievable, dude. And, man, I'm so glad to hear that, because that Membership Masters newsletter, it really is something that I've put a lot of work into. I'm going to drop a link to that if anybody wants it. Hold on one second. Well, that link might not work now because it doesn't say the. See if you can grab that link, Jocelyn, but it's the new link to that. Or Angela, look in Kajabi and see if you can find it. That link might be broken because it needs to say fliplifestyle.com, fliplifestyle.mykajabi.com. All right, it should be in there. Go to you'll see it in the pipelines, and then click on the Membership Masters pipeline, and up in the upper right-hand corner, Angela, it should say Get Link. Okay. So we'll put that link in there. But if anybody wants to check out Membership Masters, you just missed the deadline to get the print copy of the June Membership Masters. They're already printed. They're already on the way being mailed. But I can send you a digital copy of June if you want to sign up for that. Now, if you're not a subscriber to the Membership Masters newsletter, we'll drop a link there in the chat in just a second. But it's next level audience growth, traffic growth, and retention growth. That's what we're really looking at Membership Masters. I send a newsletter out every month. It's about 20 pages long. You can digest it in one sitting over a cup of coffee, highlight it, take notes. It's a daily calendar. It tells you exactly how to market your brand and your membership every single day of the month so that you can get more members, keep more members, and grow your audience. And really super proud of the June edition. It's going to be amazing. Paul, you think you made money this month? Wait till next month, because there's not only trials, there's quarterlies, there's all kinds of good stuff going on in it. But we got an awesome issue coming out, and Paul, I'm proud of you, man. You're killing it, dude. It's untelling where you're going to end up, man. I mean,
that was a good Southeast Kentucky untelling.
Untelling. That's how we say down here in Southeast Kentucky. We don't say no telling. We say untelling.
I don't say that.
But Paul, Paul. Next time we have Flip Your Life Live, when they let us open gatherings more than 50 again, I got a feeling Paul's going to be on stage, getting an award, my friend, and we may or may not have a venue scouted and right of first refusal already signed.
By we,
I mean me. I might have already signed a paper with a I just right of first refusal. I didn't give any money for it yet. I just, in case someone else was going to get the dates, I scheduled it.
I love how I'm just learning all this stuff on this member
If I
call.
told you, you wouldn't let me do it. And I am totally going to blame Amber on this one as well, because Amber was my co-conspirator, was our live event coordinator, Amber, on this. So the venue may or may not have 900 seats, so we're probably going to need y'all's help. Okay.
Oh,
all right. Okay. All right. Next question. All
right. Let's see. This question is from Tim. Tim says, I've been in kind of a funk since March. I feel you, Tim.
Hasn't the world?
Yes. And I haven't worked on my online business since then. I'm still building it. Have you ever gotten to a funk and been burnt out on working in the business?
Oh, yes.
If so,
yes.
you get out of it.
Yes. I mean, listen.
Let me know when you figure it out.
Yeah,
Tim.
I know, right? Yeah, of course you do. I mean, we get in funks all the time, and they're extended funks.
Yes,
you know?
Honestly, I've been there for about 3 years now. The reasoning for me is because we sold the business that I worked mostly on. And, in our perfect little magical unicorn world, we thought that we were going to jump into this business and that everything was just going to be fantastic. And, we've realized that it's been a little bit harder than we thought because, Shane and I are both people who want to have control and lead. And it's hard to do that with two people.
Ask our team on meetings where me and Jocelyn are like, hey, I got an idea. 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 Right.
Yes. And like we have, what we've realized, it's taken me a very long time to realize, is that I really need to be in charge of something. Like I need to have my own thing. And, I thought that that wasn't what I wanted, but now I finally realized that it is. And it's taken me a very long time to get to this point. And I don't know that I'm still 100% back to where I was, but I find myself just every day, just like, I don't even know what to do. Like I just can't even wrap my head around it. So you're not alone.
Yeah. And also too, just the daily, no matter what you create, something about it is going to be grind. I mean, like monotonous grind. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, like when we meet with people on the Flip Lifestyle podcast, we always want to make sure we're having a good, healthy mix of true beginners who maybe are just coming up with an idea, and success stories who have sold their first 100 members, and then people like Nikki Roush last week who made 60 grand in 1 month on her membership, right? Like, because we have all these stories in the Flip Your Life community and we want to tell those stories. But the truth is, most people, 80% of the people coming through the program are below 100 members. And we need to address that. We need to talk about that. So when Jocelyn and I have answered the same question on the podcast for the 100th time, that can get a little burnout. We can get a little burnout going there because we're doing the same thing over again. Now, the funny thing is, but the person listening needs it. The person on the podcast needs that answer, right? And they don't have it yet. And the thousands of people listening to the podcast need it, right? They need to hear it,
Part of it is,
so you got to do it.
It's figuring out like how to reconcile that and how to balance it. So like the example that Shane was just saying about the podcast, sometimes I find myself getting into a thing where I just don't want to answer that question anymore. Like I can answer it in my sleep. I'm like, I have to answer this again. So what I have learned about myself is that I'm good enthusiasm wise for about 2 podcasts, and that's it. Like anything beyond that, no, I just can't. I can't fake it till I make it any more than 2.
Yeah. So we have created systems where we don't schedule more than 2 podcasts for Jocelyn, because now she only has to get ready to go for 2. She has to bring up, and that's another thing.
I can do that. Like I can be enthusiastic. I can be happy for 2, but when it comes to number 3, I don't give my best to that person, and that's not who I am.
Yeah. And like that's another thing too about leadership though. And like it'd be like football. Like when I used to, there were some football games where I knew we were going into, and I knew we were getting our brains beat in. I knew we were getting
and so did everyone else.
And so did everybody else in the building. But I still had to walk in front of those kids and make them run through a brick wall, right? As the leader, which is that's really what I think we don't teach. We don't say it enough. But like if you want to, the difference between a course creator who might make a couple dollars over here selling some courses that they made one time and they're trying to be evergreen and all this nonsense, and a membership owner that's going to get paid forever and constantly grow and stack their revenue, that's a leader. You got to be a leader. You got to lead your community, which means you have to step it up. And like if you can what you want, which is not to have the burnout or not to feel, burnout or sad or grind, whatever, you have to flip that and say, you know what? I'm responsible for these people. When you start a membership, you are responsible for the people you choose to lead. I don't care if you're leading people how to raise chickens, or leading people how to start an online business, or leading people how to lose 10 pounds, or leading people how to be a nurse, or leading people to be a teacher, or whatever you're doing. You are taking personal responsibility to lead that group of humans, which means you have to sacrifice sometimes. You have to give it up, and you got to summon that up, just like Jocelyn said, like, hey, listen, I may not want to do this today because I've answered this question 100 times, and I know how this is going to go, and it might be a little boring, but that person needs me to be on my A game today. And when you flip that switch into responsibility for these people, it won't be, it's not a grind anymore. You know?
He says right now the monotonous grind is making video lessons. And so what I would say is that if you have something and you have like a big mountain standing in the way, let's blast through it somehow. So, you know, for Shane, the last time that he made video lessons, he was really dreading doing it. And the reason why is because he didn't want to make a bunch of PowerPoints. So I said, hey, why don't you just talk and let someone else make the PowerPoints? And he was like, I could do that.
So I recorded 35 courses in like 2 weeks or something like that. Just like 4 hours a day.
He just
talked, outline talk, outline talk, outline talk. And that became the Flip Your Life Blueprint, right? So maybe grind through it. And also too, like give your avatar some names. Like come up with a story for somebody, like whatever you teach. Like, you know, like, who asked this question? Who was it? Tim. So I would say, like, for example, you know what? Tim is struggling because he has a lot of videos. Tim needs to get these videos done so that he can fulfill his destiny and fulfill his purpose by growing his membership site and throwing his pebble in the pond, letting the ripple go out, letting it reach people in his niche and his community. I have to get this training done for Tim. I got to show him how I did my videos, how I did my content, how I did my thing. I don't want to do it, but I know Tim needs me to do it. And all those people that will be hit by Tim's ripple need me to do this, or that ripple doesn't happen. So now there's a responsibility to get it done. You owe it to somebody. And if you don't have anybody, make up a name.
If it makes you sick, the thought of doing it. So say it is those PowerPoint presentations that's holding you back. Sell something in your house, in a yard sale, sell it on Facebook today, make $100 and pay someone in Pakistan, the Philippines, whatever, to make those PowerPoints for you.
Done. Something, whatever it is. Yeah, just get it done. So anytime you're dreading doing something, ask yourself, who needs me to do this? That's the first question you ask. And then the second thing, and the first answer is always your family, because they need you to succeed. But who out there in the world needs you to do that, right? And then the second thing you do is you do what Jocelyn just said. How can I do this faster? How can I get rid of the parts I don't like? And you know what? Here's the funny thing, guys. Sometimes that answer is not right in front of you. You're going to ask that question and be like, well, I can't afford that. Then you have to do it. If you run up to him and go, I'd love to outsize, or you change the plan. You change it to something if you can't do it, what can you do?
If you don't want to be on an in-person video right here, change it to a PowerPoint.
Yeah, you got to do something different, right? So don't be afraid to pivot and realize that sometimes the answer, a buddy of mine posted this on Facebook. That is an awesome quote. You can pay somebody to mow your grass, but the only way to get stronger is to do your own push-ups. And sometimes you can't find anybody to mow your grass, and you got to go out and do it. You got to do your own thing, right? So you got to find out what you can do, and do what you can do, and not worry about the rest of it.
And use the community as a support. That's why we're here.
All right. Next question.
Let me see here. All right. All right, this is another success from Paul. Paul says, I've been making ends meet with freelancing in the tech live event space. With COVID, that hasn't been possible, but that's okay because I had a little savings and it got me through to where I hit the magic 100 member mark. So now I don't have to freelance ever again.
What? He's done freelancing forever? I thought you were going to freelance for us at Flip Your Life Live, Paul. I thought we were talking about that.
That won't work because I hate on my country music.
That's right. That
can't work.
Dude, that's amazing. That's basically quitting your job. You flipped your life twice. You became a freelancer, and then you flipped your life again, dude. Paul, you're killing it, man.
That's awesome. We're so proud of you. All right. Let me see. This question is from Jason. Jason says, I'm struggling on pricing a membership. Most people in my space, the investing space, seem to do courses around $1,000 or $2,000. Do I just make it $99 a month or $199 a month? I would rather deliver it as an interactive membership with weekly live videos rather than a static course. The value is off the chart depending on the member, though. I made myself over $20K over the last month using the information.
Nice job. That's awesome. I think you're struggling about the price too much, and you're worrying about your eye is looking in the wrong places. Like, number one, who cares what your competitors charge? I would say most of your audience might never see most of your competitors. So you're comparing apples to oranges. Like, you don't know that for sure, right? Two, the value is infinite. It's like what I tell people about Membership Masters newsletter. Like, yeah, it's $197 a month. I'll send you one free. You can see how awesome it is. But Paul last month paid his membership fee and made $3,000. Somebody else might make more. Somebody else might make less. But if it's more than what they pay, it's infinitely valuable because those members stack. So that's true.
So it's your job to convince people that they are trading X dollars for Y value.
Right. So I would guess that you could probably charge $199 a month if you wanted to. But I would also say just get your first 100 members at 99 and forget it. It doesn't matter. This is not, you could flip a coin, Jason, and probably it wouldn't matter as much as you think it does because of your space. This is investing. This is trading money. You're teaching people how to trade less money for more money. So there's definitely like the value is 100% off the charts, but you got to bring it down and you eventually got to pick a price, right? Like when I launched Membership Masters, I launched it at $99 a month. I was like, you know what? If I get 100 people doing that, that's 10 grand a month. Let's launch this bad boy and see if we can get it there. There we go. Then I raised the price later. So it doesn't matter. You can still raise the price to $199 later. You're not stuck there forever. What makes the most sense? How big is your audience? How good are you going to be able to compare yourself to other experts in the field? Like, think about that. But this is so close to a price, it doesn't matter.
I think that on things like this, people, they think, okay, well, because I compare the prices on 2 sound bars on Amazon, I'm going to go out and compare 2 memberships. That's not true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for something to solve a problem. I'm going to search how to invest. I'm going to find Jason. Jason's either going to convince me to buy or I'm not going to be convinced to buy.
And the price is probably the least part of that equation, right? Like it's the benefits and the results and the value are so much more important than the price, and
it's
people
your
get
job to
hung up on the
them.
price. That's right. So you know what? Pick 99, do it for 6 months, and then raise the price to $199 in 6 months when you have 100.
Don't make it so hard.
Yep.
You're making life too hard, Jason.
Don't make life
I do
hard.
this every day.
Guys,
I'm an expert.
Yeah. I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna have a shirt made that says "Pick a Price," and I'm just like, that's what you do. You got to pick a price. Okay.
Okay. Let me see here. All right. This question is from Josh. Josh says, do you have suggestions for uploading content on my website in a way that doesn't slow it down?
So slow down. Oh, okay. The only tip you really need here is host your video separately from your website. Like that, unless you're using something like Kajabi, because Kajabi actually has theirs integrated where you upload the video, but it's hosted separate from the site. But really, video and audio is about the only thing that can slow a site down.
Yeah, like text, not so much.
Text, not so much. Images,
huge pictures.
Yeah, keep them under like 500 kilobyte, KB, whatever. Just keep it that. You can get optimizers depending on what you're using. I would actually say the best thing to do is just use Kajabi because it handles everything and it won't slow down, and they have optimization built into the platform. So actually, that's exactly what I would tell you to do is probably use Kajabi for your website. And but most of the time, it's just getting that video hosted somewhere else besides your server.
All right. This question is from Chris. Chris says, how do you get past the fear of working with people in my membership as an introvert? I've done blog posts and YouTube videos, but doing live stuff like webinars is a bit out of my comfort zone. What can I do to get past this fear? Oh, Chris, I feel your pain. So, yeah, as an introvert, the thing about it is you have to find ways to make things work so that they work for what is strong for you. So like for me, I don't love being on video. I sit here, like even on something like this, I sit here the whole time and I'm like just so self-conscious. It's like hard for me to even concentrate on anything else that's going on. So in fact, I have my chat box in front of my head on my screen so that I'm not staring at myself. Yeah. And so that's one way that I do it. So the thing about webinars is that they don't have to be live. One thing that you can do, and that I've seen people do in the past, is that you can record it, do a replay, but be there live to type in answers to questions. So that's one way to get around that live component if you feel really uncomfortable about it. But
my buddy does that, and he does it very successfully. He just pre-records it, and he shows up and says, "Hey, I'm Chris. Nice to see you. All right, I'm going to hit play and outplay."
And I will say that the more times you do it, though, the easier it does get. When I first started 8 years ago, the thought of being on video just was so scary to me. When we started Flip Lifestyle in 14, this was 2 years after we started our businesses in 12 and we started Flip Lifestyle in 14. And when we first started, Shane was like, all right, we got to be on videos. And I'm like, I don't want to be on videos.
You didn't
But
even want to talk on the microphone. You
well,
didn't want to do the podcast.
yeah, the microphone, I could get on board with that. But then he's like, okay, well, we got to do videos. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about videos. So, I will say that, 6, 8 years later, it has not gotten a lot easier for me as far as like worrying about it. But the actually doing it, like I don't think about it as much. It doesn't bother me as much. So I would say try it, see what happens. If you tell yourself a story that I'm scared of webinars and I'll never be able to do one, then that story will come true. But if you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to try one for 30 minutes. I'm not going to try to do an hour. I'm going to try one for 30 minutes just to see what happens. And if you survive, then maybe you can do a second one.
And also, too, if you want to get over the fear fast, do a 5-minute Facebook Live every day. Something that's not so committed. Or the problem with a webinar is the pressure, I think, what people really feel about it, because you're like, oh my gosh, I got to do this webinar and I got to sell things at the end of the webinar. Well, the first thing you got to do is not be results oriented. Like when I do a webinar, I just tell Jocelyn, I've got a webinar. And she says, go do the webinar. You'll crush it. And I'm like, I know I will. Let's go. But I might not make a sale. And that's not under my control. I've just got to do my best. Right. And if I do my best, I'll do it again tomorrow. Right. So don't be so results oriented and put so much pressure on yourself. But the more you do something, the easier it will get. And the best way to go live is to go live. Like just turn on Facebook Live every morning and be like, what's going on, guys? Hey man, it's Facebook Live. It's awesome. Jason Guyman, a member, is going to be on the podcast. We're interviewing him tomorrow. He's got an awesome success story. He was scared to do that, and he just started doing YouTube Lives every day, and he got really good at it, and he grew an audience, and now he's got basically a 6-figure online membership. So, I mean, you're going to be hearing his story really soon. Same thing. He just did it every day. Didn't care. And there's some cool comments in the in the chat room where people are like, I hate myself on video and I hate my voice on, like whatever. Do you know why that is? Here's what's funny about that. There's actually, I'm going to get my medical degree hat on here, Jocelyn.
Oh boy.
All right. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why you don't like the way you look on camera. It's because the camera, no matter how high definition we make everything, can't make it look like you actually look into yourself in your mind. And or even in a mirror. So it messes you up. And the voice, the sound that plays on a recorder after you record yourself, or even in your headphones, cannot perfectly match the voice you hear all the time. And your brain recognizes, this is a true story, you can look this up. Your brain recognizes that something's off. So that's why when you hear yourself talk back on a microphone, you're like, oh, it doesn't even sound like me. It doesn't sound like you. You live with yourself. You hear yourself every day.
I was talking to Anna about this the other day because she was watching, I think it was like one of her YouTube videos or something. She's like, why don't I sound like me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, because, the voice that you hear inside your head is not necessarily what other people hear.
And it's not the same that's coming out of the speaker that is replicating your voice. So just embrace that. Be like, oh, that doesn't sound like me. No, it doesn't. That's exactly true. So you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's never going to sound like you. But the knowledge you're passing and the wisdom you're passing to people is you, 100%. And that's the part that's important. So don't try to live up to this crazy. Don't try to live up to yourself in the real world. That's not what it is. It's something different.
Well, and don't tell yourself a story that because you're an introvert, you can't do these things. And listen, I'm guilty of this too. I do this all the time. Just tell yourself, okay, I need to do this, or I don't need to do it. Like it may be something that maybe you can find another way to do it that makes you feel more comfortable about it. And so it's a way of figuring out, okay, what do people need and what am I willing / able to do?
Do what Jocelyn did. Get an extrovert that will grab you and pull you over the ledge with them. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, and like I was saying, right. Seriously, yes. But if you are uncomfortable with looking at yourself, like if you have a program where you have to look at yourself, put the chat box over your face. Put a Post-it over your face. Like do whatever you need to do. I play these little games with myself all the time. Another trick that I do is I put a Post-it with a little hole in it above my camera. So I put it like right on my camera, and I'll have talking points on it. So I don't have to think about anything. Now, Shane, he could start a camera and rattle on for 20 minutes. For me, I have to have at least bullet points to go down so I don't forget something, so I don't get distracted, whatever. So find out what works for you and do it.
Lori says there's only one Shane Sams, though, Jocelyn.
Yes, the world is very happy with that.
I'm unique. All right.
Okay, let me
Who's
see
next?
here. The world thanks God for that. Let me see. This question is from Nate. He says, we are about to hire our first 30-hour-a-week position.
Good job, Nate.
Yeah. What recommendations do you have for making this new hire a success and getting them integrated? I'm very happy to say, Nate, that we actually
know what we're doing now. All right.
Yay!
Yeah. The first thing I would do, what we have learned, much trial and error.
Yes, a lot of error.
A lot of error. A lot of trial, a lot of error. And this is, I think, why we got it so right this time. Because we did get it right. The people that are working with us right now were really, really.
And we're not just saying that because
we're not just saying that because they're in the chat room. But no, they're awesome. But like the first thing that we did was we got really, really clear about our expectations for these people, and like the roles. And I tell you another thing I would not recommend doing anymore. Don't do the thing where you write down all the things you hate and get rid of them. That's not the point, man. The point is not to offload and offshore things you don't like. That's some of it, but it's getting people who are better than you to do things that your business needs to do to move the needle, right? And giving all of their attention to that. Like that's what really is what moves the needle. It's not, there are some tasks that are operator level tasks, but you need to get really clear on the roles your business needs to move the needle. And then you need to write those expectations down very, very, very clearly. And then turn it over to people to get really good at what they do and let them go do it, right? So you have to be so clear on what that role is and what the expectations are and what the results that you expect are. Do not go forward until you do that. Don't hire anybody until you know that, okay? It can evolve. You're going to get like measurables and KPIs and things like that, but you better know what you want.
KPIs, key performance indicator.
Yeah. So make sure you know what you want, okay? The second thing I would do is get the book Who and write and read it cover to cover and listen to it. WHO by Jeff Smart, but with a G. It starts with a GAOF or whatever.
Like the Jeffrey the Giraffe.
Yes. All right. So go read that book. Don't hire anybody until you read that book. Nobody should ever hire anybody until they read that book. If you hire anybody before you read that book, you're probably going to make a bad hire. Okay. The next thing I would do is do exactly what it says, for one thing. But then I would use a platform like workable.com, and I would get the biggest talent pool you can get. So you have a good snapshot of the entire thing. We had one of our jobs, we had over 200 people. No, it was 300.
Like 300, yeah.
300 people applied for one of our jobs. And so get it, but you'll filter those out. You'll read them and you'll see.
So
50 of them will be good and 10 of them will be right.
Yeah. So you'll look at them, and the thing we like about Workable is that you can qualify or disqualify people. So you either click to move them on to the next hiring phase, or you click disqualified
and get rid of them.
And like if they don't follow your directions, which 80% of the people did not,
goodbye.
Then I don't even look at you anymore.
Yep.
Like if I tell you to tell me your Myers-Briggs type and you don't tell it to me, you're out.
Yep.
Like you can't follow directions.
And invest in Workable. Stop being so cheap, everybody. Pay for tools that work perfectly. Pay the payment so they can put it on all the job boards and you can get a big talent pool. So if you've gotten your expectations clear of the roles that you want, I would actually do, Nate, what I would do, I would imagine your team with 12 people. And if you had a team of 12 people, what would all of those do? And now what does the first person you want to do, right? Like, or 6 or 5 or whatever your team you want it to look like, so you can think ahead. And what does that role that you need right now to move the needle look like? Okay. It might be an executive assistant. It might be a VA. It might be a director of content. It might be a whatever. So get really clear on what you want. Read the book Who. It's a really good book. Best book I've ever read on hiring. Expand the talent pool. Don't just you might hire local people, but don't just take local people. Expand your talent pool out to find the best person, right? Interview them. Actually interview people. Don't just say that person looks good, hired on Upwork, right? And then meet weekly and have clear expectations every week going forward.
And you know what? We're still learning this. Like, we still have work to do as far as being leaders, but we are trying. We're getting there. We're getting better. And we're really happy with our team so far.
Yeah. But I wish that someone had told me about the book Who and about actually taking the time to go through a hiring process and also investing my money to actually get a big talent pool. Okay. So if you do those things, you'll be all right. And also too, the first hire you make is probably going to be, it could definitely be a disaster. So just fire fast. Okay.
Yep. All right. Let's see. This question is from Rebecca. She says, are you planning ahead for the next school year with the pandemic? We're thinking about pulling our kids out of their school because the workload was too intense and homeschooling along with an amazing tutor. But our families think we're crazy for considering that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that now, because I think that next year's school year is going to be really weird, because at best it's going to be, I think the kids go to school 3 days one week, 2 days the next, and then do virtual learning. And I know how old your kids are, like the age groups and stuff. They're similar to Isaac and Anna. I think that what we're probably going to do is a combination of a homeschool and school. Like, we're going to send them to school. Like,
they will be going to school as many days as they
let us go, because we've done the homeschool thing, and we know that it's
and I think it's good for them, and I think it's good for us.
Yeah, they need it. They need their friends, and they need things like that, and they need to socialize. However, the days they don't go to school, if it's a split schedule, you better believe we're going to have a tutor here, and they're going to be here for the whole 6 to 8 hours that they would normally be at school, and we're going to hire that out. Now, I understand that not everybody can do that. That's fine. But we can do that, and we're going to do that. And we're going to have balance between work and life and school and, Xbox. And the bottom line is, it's not good for the kids, and it's not good for the business if they're in the way we run our life, if they're there between 10 and 3. Like, we've got to be able to do what we do between 10 and 3. They've got to go get educated between 10 to 3, and then in the evenings and afternoons we can enjoy each other as a family. So that's kind of how we are planning to attack this. We want the kids to go back to school. Our kids in particular thrive in school. Anna Jo is extrovert. She is me in a little girl's body. I mean, she is a force of nature. She's very popular. She just thrives on people and being in groups and things like that. So she's going to need that. Isaac needs buddies, and he loves basketball and all that good stuff too. So hopefully we'll be able to play sports and do all those things. I'm hoping that it's a little less restrictive than possible, but we're not going to do the homeschool thing. No. So I don't think nobody knows the right decisions. You just got to make the best call for your family. Even this summer, we were talking about this either yesterday or the day before. We're probably going to keep. We've had a tutor coming to help us with the kids' homework and their school packets, because it was intense. And we just looked at each other one day and said, we're not doing this. And we called somebody, we hired them, and they've been coming about 3 times a week from 12 to 3 every day, helping the kids finish up their schoolwork. And listen, guys, you got to outsource stuff. We got to have division of labor, and it's like paying somebody to mow your grass. Can you pay somebody $30 to mow your yard, or $50, and you go make more than $50 on the internet while they're doing that? Race them. All right, they started mowing. I got to write an email that's going to make more than $50 in the next hour. Do that. And it's the same thing with school. If I'm spending 3 hours a day here and not spending 3 hours a day with my team doesn't get led. So there's a way for me to educate the children and do work and can maintain Jocelyn's sanity with the kids being here. So we have to do that.
I think it just depends on who you are. Like, we're actually having a little personality type discussion here in the chat, but I think it just depends on who you are. Like, for me, I'm a person who my mental energy is really dependent on like absolute silence, no stimulation. And for kids to be around for me is just, so detrimental to my work. I have not been myself in a very long time because the kids have been home, and it's just really, really hard on me. They're always asking me for stuff, and like every little distraction is just like my productivity goes down every time.
Yeah, quarantine killed like Jocelyn. As soon as they were about to announce it, she was just freaking out. She was like, oh my God, they're coming home. I'm not going to be able to do anything. We're not going to have any sports, no
Like
activities.
I personally have to be physically removed in order to get my best work done.
Yeah.
And, it for you, like for Shane, I think it's not as big of a deal because, he kind of thrives on energy and like, things going on around him. That is really important to him. But for me, it just doesn't work. So, if you think you can make it work, I mean, you had a nice little preview of it with this quarantine. So, I mean, I say go for it, especially if you have a really good tutor.
Yeah. I would also say, like, it's not as expensive as you think to get people to tutor your kids. There's a lot of teachers out there that'll do it for $15-20 an hour.
Yeah, just
So, I mean,
if you get on the Facebook groups of homeschoolers, don't mention that you're hiring a tutor, just from personal experience.
yeah, they don't like that.
They're like, oh,
Teach your own children
I can't
every minute of
believe
every
you're
day.
homeschooling and you don't teach them yourself.
Yeah. So, I'm going to write it out. I also, we're going to write it out. Our kids are going back to school. I'm not as afraid of the virus anymore based on the science that's coming out on it. It itself is dangerous. But, the way that we're going to be testing in schools, and I have a lot of confidence and faith in our school district and the people that lead our school district. I think that helps, we're in a small town community. You're in a bigger city.
Yeah, do what works for you.
So
I mean, if it works for you, go for it, I say. We've got another INTJ ENFP match, and Jennifer and her husband. That's supposed to be the ideal match.
Who is it?
Jennifer. We're having a little conversation in the chat here. Yeah. So we've got INTJ, ENFP matches.
Ooh, we need to start a club.
There's already groups on Facebook. If you're not a part of those groups, you need to be because, oh my goodness, they post some hilarious stuff.
Jennifer who?
I think it's, let's see, Trinidad.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I can't see because.
He's the ENFP. I know a couple people where the girl's the ENFP and the guy is the other way, but I've never seen it that way before. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, I didn't realize that it was supposed to be the ideal match until, years after we got together. But anyway, I think it's funny. I always say most of the time we bring out the best in each other and occasionally the worst.
And you know what? One of the best things is this backpack that we're giving away in just a few minutes. So if you have not put in, did you like that transition? If you have not put your, if you have not left us an iTunes or a Spotify review, we're going to drop the link one more time. You got the link still?
And if you've already done it, like in the past, just tell us.
Just tell us in the thing. Okay. And we're going to get that. The list. Okay. He's got the list there. So we got Crystal, Chris, Paul, Josh, and Tim. Okay. So if you have not left us a review yet, or if you've left one before, tell us. Let us know. But you could always leave it on Spotify. Leave the Spotify link too. Okay. If
yeah,
you
I never figured that one out. So
it was the link at the URL.
One of
Carrie, see if you can go to Spotify.com and search for Flip Lifestyle Podcast and get a link and drop that in there. But if you've left us a review, I'm gonna do a random selection here in just a second.
Yeah, so Carrie, put numbers by them, and then go to random.org and
or wait a minute, Carrie, you put a number on your side, but don't tell me what they are, and I'll just pick a random number. Just tell me how many there are. We'll just pick a random number.
Well, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, it is.
Can't we just go to random.org?
Yeah, okay. Carrie's going to pick. Carrie, you're going to go to random.org in just a few minutes, and you're going to pick. So you're going to get a free backpack full of cool goodies and stuff like that say Flip Lifestyle on them, and it's going to be awesome. You're going to love this backpack.
We might even throw in a book or something.
We have lots of books. I got a book. I actually do have a book I can send out with you right now.
Okay.
All right, so check that out. You got until we get done with this question to leave a review. So you got to do it right now. You got to click on the link. Did we drop the link in the chat?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so click that link. Go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Leave us a review, add your name to the list, and then Carrie is going to do a random drawing here in just a second about that. Okay, so check that out. All right,
the final question of the day from Tanya. She says, doesn't lifetime memberships defeat the purpose of steady income, as in monthly recurring?
It does not, and here's why, okay? The reason that it does not defeat the purpose of steady income is because a small percentage of people will ever actually take that lifetime offer, okay? But every time someone does take it, you're going to increase lifetime value of your customer, which is really the most important number you can ever look at. Like, how much is a customer worth? We have customers in the Flip Your Life community who are worth up to $30,000.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy. And that's because they've been here for 7-8 years, right? So, like, lifetime value is what's really, really important. And there's a couple things that lifetime products do for you. So what a lifetime membership is, guys, if you don't know. So right now, if let's say you join the Flip Your Life community and it's $100 a month, right? Well, and maybe for a year we give a discount. It's like, okay, you can pay $100 a month or you can pay $600 a year, right? Or a lifetime offer would be $1,100. Maybe it's just shy of 2 years. Like that makes sense, right? Like to be here, if you know you're all in and you want to be a lifetime member of the Flip Your Life community, then we could do something like that, right? All right. So what that does is there's a percentage of your audience that wants to go ahead and pay up front for everything. 5, maybe 5, at max 10% probably. You're just trying to go ahead and maximize that lifetime value. They're going to pay you anyway. They're not going anywhere. So you might as well get that money up front to invest in your business going forward. But 90% of people won't do that, right? A lot of people will sign up for annual, another 5 to 10%. Another 10 to 20% will get a quarterly, but most people will do monthly, and they'll do it for a while, right? So it's just maximizing the profit in any given moment of time. And it also does something really interesting psychologically if you have other places for those people to go. It closes a loop for some people, right? So let's say someone achieves the result you have. They may upgrade to lifetime and close the loop. I'm a member forever. I've done the thing, and now I'm here. But it also closes the loop to get them to buy something else. Like, for example, once you get to, your membership launch and you're getting members, you got your beta and you got that out there, maybe you get to 100 members and, you're kind of like, wow, I'm kind of figuring this out. What do I do next, Shane and Jocelyn? Well, you would sign up for Membership Masters and you would become a Membership Master, and I would help you build $1 million membership of your own. Go out and get 1,000 members paying you every single month so that you can change your family tree forever, not just change your family's future. But some people, there's an objection there. Well, I'm already paying here. Some people will pay 2 things. Like Paul's a member of both. Crystal's a member of both. Some people won't. There's an objection there, like, I'm paying for this. Do I want to pay for that too? Right? So you don't want people to be choosing between your products, right? So what you can do is you can close the loop. They can join for lifetime, and then you can ask them to join your next thing, right? Some people just graduate out, and you want to make sure and maximize lifetime value before they graduate out, and they become an alumni, and they're part of the family, and they're there forever. But you just want to give them that option. So
it's all about the strategy.
It's a strategy.
So, if you need a large influx of cash for some reason, there may be a good reason to do a lifetime membership.
So that's the reason, so I just talked about the customer journey. Jocelyn's just saying like, oh shoot, we had a $2,000 roof leak. How can I make $2,000 fast? Oh, I know.
Flash sale,
lifetime membership, $1,000 each. 2 people took it, paid for the roof.
We actually had somebody do this recently. So we had somebody who we sold a high-end product. They wanted to pay for it, and they're like, I got to figure this out. I got to figure out a way to cover it. And she's like, all right, well, let's have a lifetime membership sale. And they brought in like tens of thousands of dollars, and they're like, oh, well, that was cool.
Good. Right. So like we do that sometimes too. Like when we have, anytime we do an annual, anytime you actually, here's a look behind the curtain here. Anytime you see us do an annual sale, which is very rare because we have an annual upsell in our funnels,
and it's already on sale.
But like, it's that price. We just bring it out to the forefront. But like, if we're doing something that's higher ticket, whether it's coaching or anything else, it's because we want to go somewhere. Right.
So maybe
it's a $10,000 trip to Jamaica. We're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do something real quick.
Or maybe I've challenged Shane. He wanted to buy a pool for the backyard, which apparently we're looking at. But anyway,
if this week goes well.
But maybe it's some wild hair idea that Shane's come up with, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what? If you can sell X dollars worth of products, then we'll do it, and then he'll do it in like an hour.
I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at pontoon boats yesterday.
I've learned never to challenge him because it never works out in my favor. I was looking at pontoon boats yesterday. I'm just saying. So like, there's different reasons to do lifetime, and maybe like for example, here's a good reason to do lifetime offers if you don't do them now. Maybe you want to hire somebody. Well, maybe you need a lifetime offer, and you say, well, this person costs me $20 an hour for 20 hours a week. That's $400 a week, $1,600 a month, right? Well, you might be able to say, man, if I could sell 4 lifetime memberships at $400, that would pay for that person every month. And I bet I could do that every month. Maybe you want a little war chest that says, okay, I pay these people X dollars. I want to make sure that I have Y months of our revenue to support that. So I'm going
Lifetime
to have a
offer.
lifetime membership sale. So that's usually when we do something like that. It's just for something in particular.
Yeah. Most of our strategy is designed to get monthly or quarterly members. We think that is more sustainable. That stacks better. It's easier, less energy.
And
It
it
works
depends on your
better.
LTV too. Like our LTVs are like astronomical
If I
compared
get,
to some businesses.
yeah, if I can get you to take, right now, we're just trying to get people to opt in, free trial, and then we got them. Right. So that's like our mission right now is I just want you in as fast as possible, and I'll get you to all these other offers eventually. And also too, like, for example, you can split your offers. Like, let's say Black Friday, you can do it. Like I would love to do a lifetime. I think we did one year. We did a lifetime membership for members. That was your all's pitch that you guys got. But then we did annual publicly. You know what I'm saying? If anybody wanted to jump in. So like it mixes your messaging up a little bit, and there's just lots of stuff you can do with it, you know? It's a tool in the toolbox. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
If 100% of people were going to take the lifetime value offer,
then it wouldn't be.
It might not be a great idea.
And it might not be a good idea for some spaces. You know,
Right.
like if you are happy with your monthly recurring revenue and you feel like your LTV is good, then you know there's really no need to do it. But you know, if you find that your LTV is your lifetime value is consistently say $200, and you can sell a lifetime offer for $2,000, then it might make sense.
Another thing too is like say you here, this is well I'm gonna call this an excuse because I don't care. This is another excuse people say to me all the time is, oh, I can't find any money. I've got a membership, but I can't find any money for ads. I don't have enough money for ads. Really upgrade one person to lifetime a month, do a 72-hour sale every month, use that money next month to go get more monthly members, and then do the lifetime offer to make $500 and then use that for ads the next month. You do have ways to get money for ads.
Basically, it's sort of just like a little game that we play. Can we make X dollars of revenue in Y hours? That's why we do it. And, you know, like I said, it doesn't make sense for every person.
And also, too, like we're conservative, like financially, sort of like, so like we don't go out and just waste our money on a lot of things. So when we think about expenses like trips or fun stuff or whatever, then, you know, we say, how many members is that? How many lifetime values is that? What's the easiest path to get that much money as fast as possible?
We don't say,
I can't afford it.
We can't do it. We say, how can we do it?
So like the lifetime value is a tool. Like sometimes I'm going to order the kids paddle boards. Right. So I'm going to do a quarterly sale this month. And if I can sell 20 of them, I can buy 2 paddle boards and it won't affect anything in our anything else. Right. And then I get paid next month or in 3 months again when they renew. Right. So like every purchasing decision we make is how many members is that? How many lifetimes is that? What's the fastest way to get, like, I wanted to go to New York. Was that last year?
Yes, yeah. In November, and I did not want to go to New York.
Johnson did not want to go to New York because New York is crazy expensive. We were going to stay at this place. It was like really expensive,
and I was like,
oh, I don't know. And it was going to be it was probably like a $6,000-7,000 trip, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'll just sell this. If I sell 3 of these coaching
and I'm
packages,
like, yeah, sure, yeah.
I sold it within an hour. 1 hour. It took 1 hour. I'm like, we're going to New York. Didn't affect anything. Didn't affect anybody. So it solves a lot of money problems.
You know? All right. So this is the last call for our backpack giveaway. If you were in the process of leaving a review, or if you already have,
put your name in the chat.
Put it quickly because we're drawing very soon.
Yep. Real quick announcements. Carrie is going to go ahead and look for that. And in about 30 seconds, Carrie, I'm going to ask for a name. Okay, there's Brooke. All right, cool. All right, so Carrie's going to get the names in. She's going to go to random.org and pull up a number, and she'll tell us who won that bag. And Carrie's not here. She's not with us. She's not in the same town. So
I love random.org.
Random.org.
Don't use it. Right. It makes passwords for you. Like it does all kinds of stuff.
So basically, big things coming up pretty soon is the transition. I'm not going to call it the transition. The opening of FYL Community 2.0. Really pumped up about this. You're going to get better results. Everything's going to be easier. It's going to be awesome. We're going to give current members a really good opportunity to go ahead and move over to it. You're going to be able to try it for 30 days. The other community is going to be around for at least 6 months. I mean, we're going to run them parallel for a while, but we really want to move everybody over. So if you're watching this on the replay, or if you're watching this live, be ready for that. It's going to be coming very soon. Next couple of weeks, you're going to be seeing some emails about it. You're going to be seeing us post on social media about it. We've got a little more work to do. As you saw today when I couldn't get the forums to work, that's all right. We're going to fix that. But we're going to get everything up and running. It's going to be 100% out the gate. It's going to be amazing. And we know that everybody's going to take some massive action. People who've been through it, you're going to go back through the blueprint and be like, oh my gosh, this is even better. My membership's going to get better. My business is going to get better because of all the work that we're doing inside of the Flip Your Life community. My new podcast coming out this month. It's called Membership Masters. We will release it parallel to the Flip Lifestyle podcast. The first episodes will be coming out on the Flip Lifestyle podcast and over on that. I'm about to meet with Hannah about that in just a few minutes, and we're going to come up with a game plan for that. It's going to be awesome. And,
all right, so Carrie, make sure you get Brooke, Marty, and Biz.
All right, Brooke, Marty, and Biz. All right, so we're putting that in.
And let us know.
And here comes the reveal. If you're watching the replay, I'm sorry. You should have been here live, and you would have got into the contest.
So let's see. It looks like we have.
There's a list. There's our list.
3.
Crystal, Chris.
We got Bez.
Bez needs to be on there. And can we got one more?
And let me see.
Yep, that's it.
Oh wait.
Yep.
And
Bez and Marty.
Brooke.
Yeah, Brooke's in there. She's in there.
Okay. Yeah. The reason that some of those names didn't show up is because your chat box was set to all panelists.
Yeah.
It needs to be
All panelists and attendees. Okay.
Okay. So I think we have everybody now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right. Hit the random.org button. The next name
From
that pops
1 to
up
10.
is the winner. Who is the winner? Who wins the
All right,
backpack?
Crystal Harper.
Crystal Harper wins the
Crystal.
backpack with awesome stuff from random.org.
Yeah.
All right. So we will, Crystal, Carrie will reach out to you and
get your address information.
get your address. We're going to grab one of these backpacks and fill it full of some goodies and box it up and send it to you.
And we'll do this again too on
Oh,
future
yeah.
calls.
Yeah.
so-
We're going to have T-shirts. We're going to have coffee.
it's Crystal's birthday. Happy birthday.
Today's your birthday and you won the prize. That's amazing.
Yay!
We're going to be giving away some of these amazing Flipped Lifestyle coffee mugs. Who wants a mug?
Which we'll have to order some.
We got to get some more of
because
these.
We're now giving away mine.
You know what I just noticed about this mug though? Is like it's got a coaster attached to it.
Somebody
Like
sent us these.
built it. It was Steve Dale.
okay,
Steve
yeah,
Dale sent me a box of these. So we got to
Yeah.
find Steve. We got to figure that out.
which was really cool.
So happy birthday to Crystal. Had a great time with you guys today. Hope we helped you move your membership forward. Make sure that you're in the community. Go to the community right now. Ask a question. Answer a question. Put an action plan. Don't log offline until you log into the Flip Your Life community and hang out a little bit. And we will see you. Our June schedule for member calls is coming out really soon. I got a surprise for you guys. I am going to do weekly calls in
Woohoo,
June. I
yeah.
personally, Jocelyn may not be at all of them. She's going to be at half of them. But I personally am going to
I'll
be
be
doing
at least
calls. And I'm going to rotate the times, too, to make sure everybody gets it. I think I wrote down like 9 a.m., 12. Or it was like 12, 4, and 9. I was trying to work. We had a
We have a
email.
lot of people all over the world.
Some people in the UK couldn't make the calls. And so I'm going to rotate those through. So I'm going to be doing more calls next month. And it's going to be exciting. We're going to be launching the new community in June, new podcast in June. And we're here to help you guys change your family's future. So
Have
until
a
next
great
time,
day.
do whatever it takes to flip your life. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.